Hey guys, what up? Total Control 871. I know it's been a minute, but nevertheless, welcome back to BitChute, welcome back to Rumble, welcome back to free speech. Free speech that yet again finds itself under attack by a communist captured big tech platform. Okay, this is going to be a very brief lateral censor log. I got to dash out the door, go pick up my meds. So what are we talking about today? We're looking at my latest upload here. I know, who in the world could think that a simple nature video could engender totalitarian censorship? But hey, let that be just one more example, one more uh, awakening, one more light switch being flipped on. How much more lumens do I need to throw at this thing before you're finally willing to see what's going on? Or like the movie They Live, the infamous fight scene in the alley between Nada, Rowdy Piper, his unofficial name in the credits when the end credits roll. They have him listed as Nada, N-A-D-A, I guess Nada, like Nada, he's got no name. In case you didn't know, it's a bit of a cinematic trivia for you. He At no time is his name ever spoken. His character officially does not have a name, but they just simply call Rowdy Piper's character Nada in the credits. And the black guy, I do feel bad. His name is escaping me. But they have this big long fight scene in an alleyway, which I always thought was very weird. The duration of it. I timed it. It's 6 minutes or almost 6 minutes, and that's very, very unusual for a fight sequence to go that long. It is my personal interpretation that the whole reason why it goes that long is because our filmmaker is trying to say this is what it's like, trying to wake up the masses, because that's what happens in the alley where they're having their fight. Nada is trying to give his friend the glasses, the shades. Here, look through them. And again, it's just my personal interpretation, but I think deep down our black character, I think he does know what he will see, and I think a lot of people know this already. They know about the deep state. They know about the nefarious actors that are out there, but they're just too scared. They don't want to know. They want to keep themselves in darkness, in ignorance. The less they know, the better, and that's kind of what the whole conflict resolution happens in that whole fight sequence. It's like 6 minutes just to get this guy to put on the damn glasses. It's very, very strange because conflict resolution in storytelling and cinematic storytelling, it doesn't normally go on for so long. But nevertheless, here I am struggling very hard. So that was 3 minutes of me explaining to you how difficult it is to get people to wake up and to see what's going on right in front of their face. And of course, the cruel reality to it all is that they already know. They actually don't need me to tell them. They already know. It's kind of why I've been silent. What are we talking about? We're hearing all this stuff that's going on right now, talking about how people are just now waking up to all these different things, and like a lot of the crime right now. People are. I think I just watched, I don't know, however many videos right now talking about how people are being released. I think Avi Yemeni over on Rebel News just did a bit about how all of these people are being released, these violent criminals, and they're making way for political dissenters. I already did this. Okay, I don't like repeating myself. So that's kind of why I've been quiet. I think Dan says that he's 3 or 4 weeks ahead of the curve. Dan, I'm sorry, buddy. I got you beat by 2 years. 2 years ago, I was saying all of this, and everything that I predicted, it has come true. So it's kind of why I have been so quiet as of late. I honestly don't know what to say to you. I'm trying very hard not to come across as being condescending. It's not like I'm some wise oracle at Delphi or anything like that. I don't think I've been given the gift of prophecy. I don't think so. I'm just a guy who calls a ace a ace and a spade. I call it like I see it, and I do my best to endeavor to keep my own personal spin. People tend to spin their psychological models in ways that favor their own personal politics. I just simply call things the way I see it. So if I have been given a gift, it's just simply the gift of truth, which I think it's a very valuable gift. Anyway, so here we are, getting back to my point here. A simple nature video. Oh, let's take a look. Our hawk. Yes, I did a little editing. Let's see here. Where's my comments section? There we are. All right. So, what do we got here? What does this guy go by? The JH. I don't know. I guess that's it. I did pop over to his channel. He does have a lot of nature channels, stuff having to do with hawks and bird watching. Don't ask me why, but the scientific name for bird watching, it's escaping me. Ornithology. Is it ornithology? I don't see. It's escaping me. Anyway, but he appears to have an affinity for bird watching videos, and he has corrected me. Let's take a look at his correction, shall we? It says that's not a Cooper's hawk. Excuse me. Yeah, he says that's a Cooper's hawk. A squirrel isn't a typical meal for this hawk. The squirrels know they know how to hide. If that was really a red-tailed hawk, it wouldn't have given up so easily. They won't give up on a medium-sized bird. Note the long tail. And yes, it did have a long tail, to where I basically went on and I replied to our bird watcher here. And I said, thank you. I had a feeling I had the breed wrong. I would pin your comment, but YouTube doesn't allow content creators to do this anymore. That is, unless you're stupid enough to hand over your government ID. You know, to keep you safe. Again, thank you for the fact check. I'll edit the title. And that is why we see our title edited. It is now a Cooper hawk versus New Jersey squirrel. And again, thank you to the gentleman that was kind enough to give me a fact check. So let's take a look at our replies here, which takes us into our lateral Censor-Log. Okay. So, not you. There we go. This is a bot program. They have absolutely zero content, probably freshly created. Well, you won't necessarily freshly created. I'm sure there are a myriad of these bots that are probably going on. Ooh, some of them might be almost 10 years old now. These bots have been circulating on YouTube for quite a while. So Jeremy, the player, 88, very much indeed product of communism here, where I guess he's trying to be snarky, where he says, that's strange. So is that why pinning doesn't work for me either? I guess that's his little snarky way of saying that I don't give over my government ID. But you know what? I think, given the totality of his comment, I think he has given it over. And I think he feels embarrassed about that. And I think this is his way of trying to delineate that he's not a moron. But I think he is. But then again, he's probably a bot program. You know, he has no comment. So he probably doesn't have ID to hand over. So there you go. Anyway, it goes on to say here, I didn't know that until you explained it. In my opinion, the pinning feature should be reserved for the big YouTube channels that are owned by mass media companies. I mean, honestly, people, who would say such a thing? There aren't enough comments on small channels to even make pinning worth doing it. I don't understand. How does how does that doesn't even make sense. Okay, it makes no sense whatsoever. As if somehow my pinning on the platform creates some sort of strain on the system. There is no strain. You say worth it as if there's an extra effort. There is not. The more things for someone to do with their time, it literally takes, what, 2 seconds to pin a comment. How much time could you possibly do you think it is, you know? You know what they say, too much of something is never a good thing. Too much of something is never a good thing. Okay. So, let's tap onto our reply and let's put in our censored, forbidden comment. I gotta get an echo feature, a little special effect. Our forbidden comment. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's hit our arrow. Okay. Now let's see, what do we got here? All right. To which I reply to Jeremy by saying, Jeremy the bot, the non-human program bot, then by all means I cordially invite you to book passage to North Korea, where rest assured you will never find that you have too much of anything. I'm sorry you feel all lives don't matter the same, and that some should be amplified at the expense of others. Now run along like the good little proletarian you endeavor to be. If I'm not mistaken, there's a fresh batch of experimental injections ready and waiting for you and your kind to take. And of course, this is indeed a completely censored reply. Okay, just went and opened up to our full page here. So this is our forbidden comment. Now, I do have a theory as to what particular bit of comment that might be running afoul of their censorship program here. For those of you who have not been keeping pace, the term all lives, well, I say all lives don't matter, but it's a variation of all lives matter. I know it's so strange. If I'm not mistaken, it's been a while since I've checked into this, and I've not tried reposting this comment without that bit of wordage, of verbiage. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right here, and we're going to check it out together as to see if that makes a difference or not. Okay, but let's just come on up here, refresh, come down, and we see that it's gone. Now, what did stick here is where I put up there, I say, uh-oh, looks like my comment's being deleted by the censorship algorithm yet again. Looks like it's time for a new episode of the Lateral Censor-Log. Yeah, baby. So that is allowed to stay. I got a theory. Let's just see something real quick. Edit. On my channel. Let's see that. And if I'm not mistaken, let's go for our party hat, shall we? Where's our party hat? Ah, there it is. Boink. So before we go on, before we remove the all lives matter portion, let's just find out, because I think anything that references your own channel, they don't want you self-promoting, I guess, even if it's in my own comment section. I know. So it's not, again, people, this is no longer YouTube. There is no you. There is no individualism. This is a communist captured platform. I am not being hyperbolic when I say that. There is no, your individual will, any form of dissenting opinion, it will be completely eradicated. You know, we see here where bot Jeremy talks about how pinning should be reserved for big channels, but of course we know that you can't get to be a big channel unless you're willing to play ball with the censorship regime. If you're willing to play ball with the communists. Now let's just refresh our page here. I think enough time has gone by for the... Oh, it's still there. Okay, so maybe it's when I say it in other comment sections that would take it over. But anyway, let us pop over. Let us reply. Okay, so I put the comment back. Let's try taking out the word lives and put in opinions instead. Let's see if that makes a difference. It's very strange that Alphabet Google has relegated the term all lives matter as being hate speech. As if, because they don't want, well, it runs afoul of their DEI program. If anything, it lets you know that what their agenda was, because I think the whole all lives matter thing, it's been on the censorship list for, I think, it's been over 5 years, right? So it's I think ever since BLM came out, Black Lives Matter came out, and the pushback to that was all lives matter. That was put on the censorship. And I also think white lives matter. I think that's also censored. You're not allowed to say that. But yeah, so we're going to see what happens here when we go to refresh our page. I think it's been enough time for the censorship algorithm to scan the comment and make a decision as to whether or not it's going to censor it or not. Let's see. Okay, looks like it has indeed censored it. So let's try one last time, and we're going to remove that bit of phraseology altogether, shall we? Okay, let's do some eliminating, and we're going to have it say, I'm sorry that you feel that some should be amplified at the expense of others. Okay. And we'll see if that gets censored or not. I know. Tell me this is not the craziest, the most bizarre thing. Some of the most innocuous, benign comments. There is no violence. There is no call to violence. But that's just it. That's kind of what we see it's going on over in Europe right now. It's any kind of speech that runs afoul of their end goal agenda of a homogenized society where all races have been basically genetically wiped out. Everybody has been inbred. Everybody is all the same. Everybody speaks the same. Everybody's culture is the same. That's how they do it. Again, I could so cut to some Borg right now. Remember what they say. I mean, the Borg are famous for saying resistance is futile. We get it. But what do they say before that? They say your biological distinctiveness will be added to our own. Your purpose will adapt to service us. This is what the Borg says. That your biological distinctiveness, whatever it is that makes you special, whatever it is that makes your culture special, your race special, your religion special, it will be completely eradicated. And it will be homogenized within the hive collective. You cannot have individualism with communism. Let's come back up here and first open up. We'll see what we got here. And now let's come back up here and refresh and come back. Okay. So what I have learned is that many times, Google has learned that people like myself exist and that we endeavor to circumvent their censorship algorithm. So The fact that the comment is just is being put back via cut and paste, and maybe there might be bits and pieces. So basically, the entire comment right now is basically being censored. Now, there is one more trick that I want to try here. Let's pop over to basically any random video. Okay, I just jumped over, and we're going to see, just pick any kind of random video, basically whatever's the top of my subscription list. Yeah, I admit, Zach Rios and, what's his name? Caleb Hammer. They're a little bit of a guilty pleasure. I love watching how people self-sabotage themselves into oblivion. But let's just tap onto this. Well, wait a minute, because CNN, they probably have some pretty high-ratcheted censorship, because I think also it is the channel creators that also collaborate with Google to keep their censorship very high. So I tell you what, let's tap on to Zach real quick here. And let's go to our comments. And let's see, we can halt the video. Let's add comment. What we're going to be adding is our taboo, forbidden comment, and we're going to see what happens. Okay, so our comment is there. I'm going to put that in, and there it is. Just a couple of seconds old. There we can see. I cordially invite you, North Korea, the whole thing. Run along, good little proletariat, the whole thing. Okay. However, this has been put on Zach Rios's, and Zach, he's pinned, so of course he's handed over his identification. But what can you expect? These are all, I mean, Zach, he's a Jew. He's a Jew that has taken the mark of the beast injection. He's fully injected. Anyway. Let's find out. Maybe give it a couple of more seconds. The experiment here, in case I haven't made it clear, I have learned that there are times where the censorship algorithm will allow the exact same comment on another video because it's wildly out of context. Anybody reading this would be like, what the hell is this guy even talking about? If anything, it helps, it aids Alphabet Google. It would make a person think that I'm crazy, I'm completely despondent, that I have no logic. Let's see what we got here. We're going to tap on. Oh, it's error. Nope. So apparently the comment is just simply unilaterally forbidden. All right, guys, so that pretty much concludes today's Lateral Censor-Log experiment. You are now no longer able to critique their draconian censorship. The censorship in and of itself is brutal, draconian, massively violating. You know, I could totally go to the whole Mark Zuckerberg. Again, everybody's talking about that. Hell, he wants to get out ahead of it. A whistleblower's coming. Something. So I think it's a bit more self-serving than that. I believe that Zuckerberg sees, I could totally cut to some Star Trek right now. The episode, I think it's season 5, and it's called Hero Worship. It's where the little boy, he gets rescued from a doomed ship. A ship is heavily damaged. Data and the away team, they go over, they rescue him, they bring him back. And he's so grateful to Data, trauma bonding along that sort of thing. He now wants to be an android. He wants to distance himself from being a human, all of the fallibilities that come along with human. And Deanna Troi, when she's explaining this to the captain, I'm going to do my best here. I'm going to do my best here to see if I can remember the word. Hold on. I think I might have it somewhere. Hold on. Aha, I did have it. I went and I looked it up. I'm not going to be posting this as a reply. I just simply, because I was going to be doing like a whole episode on how our society has drifted so far to one side that it now inevitably shifts to the other. Do I even want to open this up in Wiki where you can see the exact definition? I'm going to do my best to pronounce this. Enantiodromia. enantiodromia. Basically, it means what Diana Troy, she goes on to say that it means conversion into the opposite. There's a much more in-depth psychological definition. It is a real psychological term. The writers of Star Trek, they do indeed source their script material from as much real life as possible, you know. I did look this up. It means much more than just simply conversion into the opposite. It talked about a whole society thing. Basically, what I'm trying to say here, without taking up too much time, the way society, the failed, well, I would love to be able to say that it's a failed communist takeover of the world, but if we are being honest with ourselves, I think a lot of it is either A, put on pause, B, tactical retreat, C, gone underground, re-engaged its cloaking devices. And so it's a myriad of methods that this mind virus, this woke mind virus, this communism, you know, that it has mutated to adapt, to survive to the next phase, you know. But right now, it's why we see a lot of the podcasters are saying, how a lot of polls are saying that young people are beginning to swing much more conservative, that even liberal women are finding conservative men way more sexually appealing as a mate. These young liberal chicks, they're not really into the beta cucks anymore. They want men, and honestly, I could see, I could just go on and on. Oh my god, I just got finished watching what is it? What's this called? The end send full send. There you go. Full Send podcast. There you go. Patrick Bet Davis was a guest on it, and if you see it, go to the latest one. Jump to about the between 42 and 44 minute mark, where PBD, he says some of the most fucked up shit you've ever heard about how he engages women. Basically, he's saying that he just simply uses them until he has decided that he wants to marry one. It's some pretty fucked up shit. Honestly, it really is. But, and frankly, that's why it's fucked up mentality like that thus enabled this massive swing to the radical far left, where we do have all this woke mind virus and all this beta cuck shit, you know. Ironically, PBD, he does go on in the video to talk about how people, they shift from one extreme to the other. He lifts one hand up higher than the other, and maybe I should be appearing in this video doing my hands up high. But anyway, check out the video. He says some really fucked up shit. I don't agree with how he treats women or regards women. He's basically saying that men can be a whore slut until they're done being a whore slut. But women, however, cannot. Women, if they were to behave that way, they are to be discarded along with the condom that hopefully you used. So, enantiodromia, yes, that's how you say it. Conversion into the opposite. It's a societal, it's not just simply an individual phenomenon, but it's also a societal phenomenon. That's why we see we've swung so far left that society is starting to swing back to the right. It's a yin and yang. It's how things always end up balancing themselves. And what's so very sad, is that I already know the future. It's going to end up swinging so far right. You know, why is it so damn difficult that we can't strike this thing and get it perfect? You know, we're always in this extreme cold or extreme hot. Why is the Goldilocks zone so elusive? See, I could go on and on and on. Okay, let me just back us out of this. All right, let's just back us out. All right, that's it. Just got an alert, text alert, letting me know that my medicine is ready and I need to go pick that up. And there you go, people. What can I say? Lateral, Censor-Log. You can't critique anything. And this is by no means the end. We have not reached the zenith. We have not reached the pinnacle of censorship. It's only going to spread and get increasingly severe. Okay. We saw Pavel Durov arrested in France. This is just the beginning. Just the beginning. This really is where we're going to separate the wheat from the chaff, the men from the boys. Who actually does have the balls? Some of those manly testosterone, toxic masculinity. We're about to find out who actually has the steely resolve to stand up and fight for their rights, and who's going to cave like the beta cuck that they are. That's it for now. Total Control 871.